Hello, I'm Darren Chapman, owner of Precision Smokers. Today, I'm going to be teaching you how to make barbecue ribs. It's a very easy process if you follow this video step by step. We're going to be using the 3-2-1 method. That means that we're going to be cooking the ribs uncovered for 3 hours. Then we're going to wrap them in aluminum foil, cover them in liquid, cook them for another 2 hours. Then we're going to unwrap them. We're going to put them back in the smoker for another hour. This makes very tender ribs. It's very easy steps to follow. First, let's get all of our ingredients together. We're going to need salt and pepper. We're going to need garlic powder and cayenne powder. We're going to need water, apple cider vinegar, and barbecue sauce. Now, let's go light the smoker. For these ribs, I'm going to be using just plain charcoal briquettes. To light the smoker, we just need 2 pieces of crumpled up newspaper. And we put them right underneath the charcoal in this special newspaper area. Next, we'll go ahead and light the newspaper. That's it. We'll let that newspaper get the charcoal lit. We'll come back in just a couple of minutes. It's been right at about 5 minutes. The newspaper has all burned out and it's caught some of the charcoals above it. You'll notice that both of the doors of the smoker are open. This is very important. Both of these doors has to be open while you're lighting the newspaper. If I zoom in a little, you might be able to see the charcoal that's lit. There, you can see that just some of the charcoal has been lit. That's plenty good enough. Now we're going to turn the smoker on and close up the doors. What you can see is that the pit is currently at 92 degrees. Its set point is at 250 and it's running its warm-up program. We're going to cook these ribs at 230, so let's go ahead and do that. We're going to turn it down to 230. That's it. Now we're going to let the smoker do its thing. It's going to warm up to 230. Let's go get the ribs ready and let's go make the rub. I make a very simple rub for ribs. Here's the recipe. It's a 1/4 cup of black pepper. Next is 2 tablespoons of salt. Two teaspoons of garlic powder. And finally, 1 teaspoon of cayenne. That's it, that's the whole rub. This is going to be very good, it's very easy to make. The next thing to do is to get these ribs ready. These are spare ribs. What I like to do is I like to take this membrane off the back side. The easiest way to do that is to take a butter knife, put it underneath that membrane, and then what you can do is you can pull it off with a paper towel. If the membrane does not come off easily, do not worry about it, just leave it on. Plenty of people cook with the membrane on. I like to take it off, but again, just a matter of personal preference. There we go. All right, that's 1. We're going to do 3 racks today. This one doesn't look like it even has much membrane on it. Maybe just a tiny bit. Yeah, not really. I think we're going to leave this one alone. That's good enough for me. All right, this one definitely does have it. You can see it because it's much shinier. That's it. Now it's time to put the rub on. This is the rub that we made earlier. It's a little bit more than we need for 3 racks of ribs, but not a whole lot more. So here we go. I don't like to completely douse the ribs in rub. I think that's plenty on that side. I'm going to flip this one over. I've seen some people who just totally cover them up in rub. I don't. That's plenty. That's it. All that we have left now is just maybe a tablespoon or 2 of rub, and we're going to throw that in the trash. In the time that it has taken us to get the ribs ready and make the rub, the smoker has gotten up to 136 degrees. We're going to go ahead and put the ribs on now and let the smoker get all the way up to 230 degrees while the ribs are in there. Okay, let's go ahead and put the ribs in now. That's it. We're going to come back in 3 hours, and that's when we're going to wrap up the ribs. I'll see you then. Okay, the next thing we need to do is make the liquid that we're going to steam the ribs in. So for that, we're going to use 1/3 of the bottle of water, 1/3 with barbecue sauce, and 1/3 with apple cider vinegar. So the first thing to do is to empty out the water until we have only 1/3 of the bottle left. There we go. Next, we're going to put in 1/3 of barbecue sauce. And lastly, we're going to do 1/3 of apple cider vinegar. And we mix that up. And this is what we're going to steam the ribs in once the 3 hours are up. Okay, it's been right at 3 hours, so let's go ahead and get these ribs out and prepare them to be steamed. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to wrap these ribs up and we're going to cover them with this liquid that we mixed up together just a couple of minutes ago. That's the first rack. And we're going to put about a third of this bottle onto that rack. And what that's going to do is over the next couple of hours, that's going to steam that rack. This is what really makes these things tender, is this 2 hours of steaming. All right. Now we're going to put these back in the smoker for another 2 hours. Okay, let's put these back in the smoker. All right, we'll come back in 2 hours and we're going to unwrap them at that time. It's been 2 hours, so now it's time to take the ribs out and unwrap them.
Now we put the ribs back in the smoker and we baste them with barbecue sauce. We're gonna baste them now, and we're gonna baste them again in 30 minutes, and then we'll take them out in 1 hour. Okay, we'll come back in 30 minutes and baste them again. It's been 30 minutes. It's time to baste the ribs one more time. Well, that's it. We're going to take the ribs out in 30 minutes and they'll be done. They'll be ready to eat. It's been 30 minutes, so now it's time to take the ribs out of the smoker. All right, let's see what these things look like. Nice and tender. How about that? Real nice. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.